Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today by supporting the Going In Raw Patreon. You can enjoy access to the live taping of the show, exclusive merchandise, and patron-only episodes, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description. Steve here.
And Larson.
Oh, welcome to the Going In Raw Dirt Sheet, the only pro wrestling news source you need to be coming to right here at youtube.com/Steven Larson and everywhere podcasts are available. We're also at SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/Steven Larson. And it's the Halloween episode. Larson, guess what I'm dressed up as?
Steve with a Sting mask.
No, I'm dressed as a character from wrestling. Who am I dressed up as?
I just see Steve in a Sting mask.
You don't know it's me if I just walked up to you like this.
I can hear your voice. I know your voice. It's you.
Woo!
It's still you.
I'm fake Sting. I'm NWO Sting.
Oh, okay. Oh, I should have gathered that based on the shirt.
It's getting really warm in this.
You sure you don't want to keep that on while we do this first story?
You know what I really wish I could have gone as? Disappointed Sting from that Mighty Morphin Power. Like, soul broken Sting from... It's like maybe my favorite picture of all time. And now Mark Calloway, the Undertaker, is trying to replace that with that picture of him at the Cavaliers thing.
Yeah, which is a perfect segue into our first story today.
Do you think he wanted to do that shit?
We'll talk about that.
He had to have wanted to do that.
We'll talk about that. I mean, because here, let's just get right into it. Because how long ago were there rumors that the Undertaker was so upset with Vince that he wasn't returning his phone calls or something about Vince asking him to job out to Shane at WrestleMania?
Yeah, those are ongoing.
Those are pretty recent, right?
That were within the past.
And do you think the Undertaker would have gone to the Cavs game on his own accord? Like LeBron called him up and said, "Hey, Undertaker, can you come and present us with a WWE title and hang out with us in the locker room?"
If LeBron and Undertaker are actually friends, what do you think LeBron would call Undertaker? Probably just Taker, right? He'd probably be cool enough to call him Taker. He wouldn't call him Mark. He'd say, "What's up, Taker?"
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
LeBron, he's the GOAT. No, he's not. MJ. MJ's the GOAT. What? You disagree?
If LeBron wins another title or two, we're gonna have a debate.
Oh, about Kobe. He's in the GOAT conversation. No, Kobe's not in the GOAT conversation. No. He did some nasty things. All right, let's talk about this.
Yeah. Anyways, answer my question. The Undertaker, I assume, went at the WWE's behest, right?
Oh, it had to have.
Yeah. So that would
the only question is, did he do it because it's in his contract to do it and he had to?
I don't know about that. Because there have been times where LeBron's wore Undertaker shirts and Ultimate Warrior shirts.
Yeah.
I think he wore an Ultimate Warrior shirt to the Cavs championship celebration.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So I wonder if it was a thing where either WWE went to the Cavs or the Cavs went to WWE and said, "Hey, let's work something out for the season opener."
Yeah.
But if the Undertaker is in fact upset with Vince, you wouldn't necessarily would he do it?
He would. No, I don't think he would have if he was upset with Vince. If he was upset with Vince, he'd be upset with the idea of anything wrestling. I would think he'd be like, "I'm not doing that. You do the Undertaker better." Hey, here, let's cosplay or let's role play.
Right.
Conversation. I'm Vince. You're Taker. Okay.
All right.
Hey, Mark. Taker. What do you think Vince calls Taker? Taker.
Mark.
Yeah. Mark.
Yeah, I think so.
Really? Mark. It's Vince. I hope there's no bad feelings. Are we cool?
Vince.
Yes, Mark.
You weren't concerned with my legacy.
Mark, in this business, we do what's best for the company. We put our own egos aside.
You wanted me to job out to Shane.
Well, Mark, he's my son. Well, listen, we got this thing coming up. The Cavaliers. You know about basketball, Mark?
Yes.
Okay. You used to play basketball, didn't you, Mark?
Yes.
The Cleveland Cavaliers won a championship, apparently, in the National Basketball Association. I believe they call it NUBA. Remember, you know what that's from?
No.
How do you not know that? NUBA. You don't know what that's from? That's from the air up there.
Oh, okay.
What's his face? Wasn't it? Who started? Was that Manute Bol? It was Billy Crystal. No, it wasn't Manute Bol. It was somebody else. Damn it, who was it? George Mirzon.
You're thinking of My Giant.
My Giant? I don't know. Somebody said Nuba. Maybe it was Cool Runnings. I don't know. Somebody said
the Arab there had Kevin Bacon in it, didn't it?
Which one was Billy Crystal?
That's when he was a ref. That was Forget Paris.
No. Wasn't there somebody where like maybe it's Kevin Bacon?
That's one you're thinking of.
Okay. Anyways, I don't know. He'd say, Mark, you want to go to this thing? Sure, I like basketball.
Yeah.
I would think that's how it went, but wouldn't he feel so goofy being in? Like it would be much. In my opinion, it would seem much. The whole thing didn't make any sense because he's like waiting outside the Cavs locker room
in character.
Michelle McCool's there. I think their kid is there. And they're just like waiting because I saw some young.
Oh, it was the Warriors family.
Oh, that's right. The Warriors family was there. But yeah. And then he presents him with a belt and all the Cavs are geeking out. And it was just weird.
But then he changes and he's sitting courtside.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
Not in his wrestling gear.
Okay. Yeah. What did he look? How did he look?
I
didn't see that part.
Dressed, whenever we
did he take the wig off?
Yeah. Whenever we see stills of The Undertaker, that's what he was wearing. A sweatshirt and
okay.
a knit cap.
See, that to me would have been an equally geek out thing to do. Hey, it's still The Undertaker. He looks like a grizzled old badass. I like that version of Undertaker. I honestly wish whenever he came out these days, he would just come out looking like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me, though. I think that's much more intimidating than an old guy dressed up with a wig.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that Undertaker, I'd be much more scared of. Anyways. Yeah. I think it's great, though.
So, with that in mind,
yes.
Wrestling Observer is reporting that sources within the WWE feel that The Undertaker will, in fact, wrestle at WrestleMania 33. Mm-hmm. And that apparently some in WWE want to see a Goldberg-Undertaker match.
This is bad
for that show.
Bad. Unless Goldberg beats Lesnar. Goldberg has to get a win. And I think Goldberg versus Rusev, why don't they listen to us? Goldberg, Rusev is so perfect for Mania, man. Because, Rusev can work. Goldberg versus Taker, we don't even know if Goldberg can still go in the ring. And we know Taker has a hard time going in the ring. Rusev can go. Rusev can protect. Rusev can make somebody else look better. And Goldberg would be a massive face the entire time. Who doesn't want that to happen?
I know. I agree.
It gives Rusev something to do.
For a while, there were rumors that it's going to be Cena. Mm-hmm. Well, it's supposed to be Cena Undertaker last year.
Yeah.
Before Cena got hurt.
Cena Undertaker is always going to perpetually be the retirement match.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with. Taker can do this as long as he wants to do it. And I think things like this. But Goldberg, man, it should be Goldberg Rusev. I mean, I get the idea of a dream match, but of course then, according to notes here, according to Forbes, Sting has been pushing the WWE. And during his Legends with JBL interview, you could tell he was like, not ready to give it up. I just want, and you could tell.
Well, didn't he say that he was
weighing his options with surgery?
Yeah. In case he can do more match.
Because according to his people, you either do surgery and you're done, or you put out, or you don't do surgery and you can keep going for a little while. And he says, I feel fine. I don't want to do surgery.
Yeah. I guess so long as he's not having any pains or symptoms of anything.
And a Sting Taker match would make so much more sense because that they would protect each other.
Yep.
They're not going to be taking any buckle bombs. None of that. I mean, he'd have to eat a tombstone pile driver. But as long as your head is like mid-thigh, as long as your chin is somewhere around Taker's nuts, you're good.
The Undertaker knows what he's doing.
Exactly. He knows what he's doing. They're old guys. They know they're going to fuck you. They're both like, hey, you don't fuck me up, I won't fuck you up. We'll be good. We'll go get some pancakes after this.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that. Just Sting and Taker sitting down and having some pancakes.
I know.
Big fat stack. And then
all you can eat, maybe.
And then 2 more for $2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Unlimited for $6. 2 more pancakes for $2.
Exactly. Just in case you reach your unlimited limit.
Yeah, exactly.
You have 2 more guaranteed.
Which there shouldn't be a limit, but then you want 2 more.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We're on the same page with this, right? We'd rather see Sting Taker. Would you want to see Sting Taker?
Yeah,
I would. I think if he can go, and they can have a slow, plodding Legends match, I'm fine with that because of the spectacle they can do around it.
Exactly, and also they're 2 pros. They can still tell a good story in the ring.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's more important
at their own pace.
That's more important than any high spots.
Dude, Goldberg might literally retire Taker. Because we know that Goldberg doesn't exactly have a great history of being safe in the ring. Some of them jackhammers look like they hurt people.
Well, let's think about this too. So if my gut is correct,
Yes.
and it'll be Cena and AJ for the title at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
In the main event.
Yeah.
So Cena can tie Ric Flair's record.
Yes.
That takes Cena out of contention for a match with Undertaker.
Yes.
Assuming Sting is not medically cleared by the WWE to have a match with Undertaker, let's take him out of the equation.
Okay.
Let's say Goldberg only wants the one match
Yeah.
against Lesnar, Survivor Series, so he's not going to be at WrestleMania.
That's a hard pill to swallow, though.
Who can the Undertaker...
If you take Goldberg out of the equation somehow, some way, who's Taker going to take on?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see him take on Kane, that's for sure. We've seen Bray. We've seen Orton like 5 times probably at this point. Let's see here. Man, that end of an era match should have been the last one.
I know.
Really should have been.
I know, because everything that's happened since then, like the CM Punk match was good, but it wasn't great.
The sad thing about that is that they could have done so much more with that. They could have done so much more with that. I just feel like when Paul Bearer died, for some reason I didn't want to call him Paul Bearer. I was like, when he died, I feel like they didn't really know what line they couldn't cross, and so they were being delicate about it, and it sort of put a hindrance on everybody's creativity. Sometimes they just need to let CM Punk's one of them. They just need to let him do his thing, because even the feud he had with Jericho, they both wanted to take it so much further.
Yeah,
they didn't let him.
But the Lesnar Undertaker bout wasn't that great. Granted, Undertaker got concussed.
Oh yeah,
very quickly into the match.
I mean, that's sort of one of them historical things, like, oh, the streak ended. It was a crap match, but the streak ended.
The Undertaker Bray Wyatt match was mediocre.
Yeah.
And then his match with Shane last year was not very good.
No, it wasn't. I mean, he's not. That's why Sting would be perfect, man. God, who doesn't want to see that? And then Goldberg Rusev. Goldberg shouldn't be taking on Taker. He's gonna freaking concuss him all. He's gonna kill Taker. I don't like that. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Who else, though, could take on Taker?
I'm trying to think, and I'm kind of drawn to blank.
Don't put Rollins in there with him. Don't put Rollins in there with him.
Well, he's not doing the buckle bomb anymore, so.
I know. Rollins he's too enthusiastic. He gets too enthusiastic.
Because it'll probably be Owens and Finn for the Universal title. So you can't have Finn Undertaker.
No. Unless Finn's not ready by the Rumble, unless Finn has a short notice, in which case they're going to need to be.
Well, I mean, historically during the previous brand splits, they would have the Rumble, and whoever won that got to choose which belt he would go after.
Are we thinking? Do you think Cena's going to win the Rumble to do the AJ thing? That's probably makes sense, right? That would give Finn some more breathing room, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. And he can just come back and say, "I never lost it." Yeah. Okay. All right. We just booked it. Good job.
Good job.
All right, man. You want to buy the WWE?
Sure.
How much money you got in your wallet right now?
0.
Yeah,
I don't carry cash.
I don't carry cash. But if we did carry cash, there is the possibility that Vince, who is quoted as saying during a conference call for the third quarter earnings for the shareholders call, he says, "We're open for business."
Yeah, which means that they would listen to offers.
But he said he added with the stipulation, he added that maintaining control of the company is of the utmost importance.
Yeah.
I want to say who goes on in the main event, and it's not going to be some women. They're like, hey, Dad, listen, this is going to be great. History making, forward progression in a company. Okay, listen, Sasha, Charlotte, killer workers, great workers. These guys are killing it. They're amazing. Well, hold on though, Paul. They're women. You know, that conversation took place. Hold on, Paul. They're women. He did it in full Mr. McMahon heel. They're women. Oh, man. Anyways, he said maintaining control of the company is utmost importance.
But he also said that they would listen to offers that were too good to refuse.
Yeah. I Everything we've heard recently in terms of the demand out there for a wrestling business makes me think that there is no great offer out there for the WWE. Like WME aren't going to, William Morris isn't going to come in and offer $2 billion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, they paid, was it $4 billion?
$4 billion for the UFC. Yeah. They're not going to offer $1 billion for the WWE. I would love to say yeah, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know either. Of course, this isn't the first time we've heard talk of WWE selling.
Yes.
Back in July, Cage Side Seats reported that there may have been talk within WWE WWE to sell following the sale of UFC for, as we just mentioned, $4 billion.
Yeah.
And then in late July, on an episode of Dirt Sheet, we talked about the previous conference call, the second quarter conference call, where WWE CFO George Barrios stated when asked about potentially selling the company that WWE were always interested in listening to ideas if that's what's best for fans and employees. So this isn't the first time that they've responded to the question about selling the company. I just believe this is the first time that Vince has directly answered
Vince
that
has
question.
Actually said something about it. I mean, look, here's the thing. You know, their last television deal, they didn't get what they wanted. Billy Corgan has said, you know, with this whole TNA deal, he said, surprisingly, there aren't a lot of networks out there who really, really want wrestling programming. There just isn't. Now, I wonder if that might be because, well, if it's not WWE, we don't want it. But, you know, TNA didn't do great in the ratings for Spike, and so they were let go, and then they ended up with Destination America. They weren't even doing great on Destination America. They were let go, and they landed on, like, freaking whatever.
Pop TV.
Pop TV right now. And so the fact, if when the WWE got their latest television deal, if they got double what they wanted, then I would be, at this point, I'd be like, yeah, they can easily sell for a lot of money.
But, you know, the way media is transforming away from simply broadcast to streaming to...
I know, but TV's still...
No, I know. It's still the bread and butter.
Yeah.
But, you know, in 10 years, that may not be the case.
That's true.
You know, with the... Vince and the executives talked about some other information during this call that we can talk about right now. During the call, Vince revealed that the WWE Network is averaged around 1.4 million subscribers this quarter,
right?
Which is down from the 1.5 average subscriber count in the previous quarter. At least that's what we said and we talked about last in July. But quarterly net income, so profit, was up to 11.1 million, up from 10.4 million in quarter two. Yeah, dollars. So they're still making money.
They're still making money, which it's interesting though. Like that's what like
they go into more detail. They issued a press release. They go into more detail in terms of how their revenue is, you know, how they make all the money.
Yeah.
Via, you know, live events, digital merchandising, TV, network.
You said that the gross revenue though, or the gross income, whatever, the gross revenue was like 160 million
for the quarter. Yeah,
for the quarter,
and it was comparable with what they made third quarter last year.
Is there the first quarter or fourth quarter like much bigger compared to either of these? Because that doesn't sound like a lot of money. That sounds like a pretty thin margin of
if they're
profit margin.
Yeah, if they're profiting,
if they're spending
$10 million a quarter, that's a $40 million
$50 million, yeah. And
profit
they're spending
annually.
And annually they're spending $600 million, and they're making $50 million. That doesn't sound like a lot of money. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
so I don't know
the resources they're putting into the product. Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure this is not a cheap industry to maintain.
No, I don't think
production
it is
costs
either.
have to be astronomical.
It's just crazy that would be like their profit margin.
Yeah,
but you know, what do I know? I don't know shit about anything.
I mean, they've been doing it for
a long
30
time.
plus years, being the top name in the industry, so they're doing something right.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting though. If they ever wanted to I was telling you off camera, if they ever wanted to bring in Conor McGregor, there goes your revenue for, you know.
But I guess they would also think that he would bring in additional revenue.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, you know, we could be. These are the numbers that were presented, and then we speculate on what that means, and there could be some huge caveat. It's like, oh well, no, that's not counting X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
We have no idea.
Yeah, and this is just kind of, you know, looking through the press release and
Tonight alone,
picking out some salient numbers.
Tonight alone at NXT, I'm planning on spending $50 million on merchandise. All Bobby Roode Glorious shirts.
I don't suspect they'll have that much inventory there.
Probably not. So that's maybe that's where they're going wrong. What if there's somebody who wants to spend $50 million at a single NXT
house
show, and they're like, we'd love to take your $50 million bill.
But we can't.
Unfortunately, we don't have enough Bobby Roode shirts for you. Sorry. We'll have to back order them.
Sorry, you'll have to buy the printer.
You'll have to be, exactly.
So you can print up that many shirts.
Anyways, wide-ranging variety of things happening right now.
I'd be very surprised if WWE sold. Not necessarily just because of the fact they might not get the asking price they want, but it's been a family business for so long.
It would be really disappointing for Triple H and Stephanie not to be. I want them to buy it somehow, but I don't know. Like if Vince dies, they'll probably inherit it. I guess.
Yeah, I would think so.
So maybe that'll happen. Hopefully that'll happen soon, and then Triple H is gonna book the shit out of that once he's gone. Oh my God, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be great writing. It's gonna be the glory land, But then Sheamus will be your champion because he's still all in on Sheamus.
Well, I mean, as we've seen recently, Sheamus can do good work.
Sheamus will be above brand. He'll be the universe's
true universal champion.
True universal champion, the way we define it. Yeah. Oh, we got some more news about TNA. Oh my God, there's a whole page here on TNA. Let's see here. So yeah, these sealed documents became unsealed.
Yeah, there was some court proceedings Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I believe maybe it was prior to the hearing. But anyways, this week a lot of stuff happened.
Mm-hmm.
There was unsealing of documents, and as I said, there was a hearing on Wednesday. And
did it make a sound? Was like.
Well, I don't know.
And then like smoke billowed
out. I know what you're saying, but I don't know if it's physically sealed.
Yeah.
Or if it's more just
carbonite.
If it's just a legal term for keeping things on the hush hush. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I know. It's a good question.
That is a good question. Maybe if any of our viewers...
It might just be in a manila folder on the judge's desk.
That just says, do not open.
Well, it doesn't even... It's like, well, it's just you're the judge. Don't look at the judge's shit or it's illegal.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But maybe at the conclusion of the proceedings, they actually do
seal them.
They might put, like a state seal on the
thing. Or like a wax stamp?
Maybe. I don't know
how it goes.
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know these things.
A safety deposit box?
Maybe if some of our viewers work in the legal field, they can tell us.
Legal type people. Well, Big Jim's girl. I'll ask her.
There you go.
What does it mean when something's sealed?
Is there a physical seal
I'm
involved?
I'm going to get info on that too.
There you go.
All right. But
a lot of the information that has been that has come to light the last few days this week, kind of more or less verified what we had heard either through Corgan himself and the various interviews he had done, or through the various dirt sheets.
Yeah.
Including Corgan funding 3 rounds of tapings, I believe.
Yeah.
And whether they were loans or investments and kind of the particulars of that whole arrangement.
And he claims that TNA was not upfront. This is kind of disturbing. That they weren't upfront about their debts. They didn't say, because he's approaching him saying, "Hey, I want to invest in the company."
Well, he was like, "I want to." It was at least 2 sets of tapings. It was loans. That was the case.
Okay.
And I think for the final one, or maybe it was the second to last one, whatever. One of them, he was like, "Okay, I'll give you the money, but I want to be president of the company, and I'll loan you this money. But if this is a situation where the company is going to default, I'll loan you this money, but I won't be able to convert this to stock."
Yeah.
So he had the opportunity to convert his loans to, I believe, 32%.
Oh, wow.
Ownership of the company. Yeah.
Wow.
And then he also had that deal in there where if they became insolvent or couldn't repay back their loans, that he would essentially take over control of the company. That's what he said.
Yeah.
And this is all verified in the court documents.
Yeah. But when he did that, they weren't like, yeah, but we're like $1 billion in debt.
Yeah. And they went into particulars on these court documents in terms of the percentage of debt versus assets that TNA had. And it was pretty, the debts outpaced their value significantly, it seemed like.
Yeah. Apparently also TNA did have talks with WWE about purchasing the company and or tape library, and Corgan demanded to know what those talks were all about, like the details of those talks.
Yeah, and apparently he asked Dixie if there were any talks, and she said no.
She needs to be out of the wrestling business. She seems a meddlesome person. Probably the saddest aspect of all this is that photography production on total nonstop deletion had to be postponed.
So for those of you who don't know what this is, they were planning a whole episode of Impact to take place at the Hardy compound in North Carolina.
Amazing.
And Matt Hardy announced that it was going to be essentially a tag team invitational.
Right.
I believe he called it Tag Team Apocalypto.
Yeah, yeah.
And he invited,
the Young Bucks, the New Day, the Dudleys,
yeah,
to participate. A whole variety of tag teams to participate in total. And we haven't confirmed who's actually confirmed for it.
Well, I think part of the problem is maybe TNA didn't. Well, we'll get to this. According to Pro Wrestling Sheet, the postponement was done primarily for financial reasons, as TNA doesn't have the money to bring talents out to North Carolina to the Hardy Ranch.
They're like, Southwest needs our money up front. Oh, up front? We don't do that here at TNA. All of our money is like...
We just bill it all later.
We bill it all later. They can't just bill it all later. Yeah, so anyways, but the episode has to be shot. They need to have an episode ready for air on December 15th. Otherwise, TNA's TV deal will be deleted.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder...
They'll be in breach of contract.
If they're required to produce new content, or if they would be okay with the best of, because I know TNA's done best of episodes.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It wouldn't surprise me if they were required to do new content.
I think so.
Yeah.
Some sources.
Best of Jeff Jarrett, Volume 1.
Well, I would
talk about deletion.
I think they would have to have more recent clip shows.
No.
For it to be topical and salient. Some sources are claiming, though, that the postponement isn't entirely due to TNA's financial troubles. That the producers of Total Nonstop Deletion were asking for more time to look at ways to kind of maximize what they could do with the budget allotted to them.
Oh, well, look, if that is the case, then I'm happy. I'm like, you know what? Take all the time and creativity you need. Take all that
multiple Vanguard ones.
But what's funny about this, dude, is that when you watch final deletion,
I know it looks
seriously
pretty,
just looked like
it looks pretty bare bones. I know,
like a couple DSLRs and a drone.
I know, but maybe they want to get some 4K cameras.
Yeah, crane shots,
multiple Vanguard ones.
Yeah, a whole
more fireworks. Several dilapidated boats.
Sounds amazing.
All that would be great.
Yeah.
So hopefully everything, is shot, is produced, and edited, ready to go by December 15th, because I can't wait to see that.
Me neither.
I can't wait to see who's involved in this tag team invitational.
I'd love to see the Young Bucks there. I'd love to see them there. Love to see some more Bullet Club, like Bad Luck Fale, Tama Tonga, them show up. What other tag teams around the world can we think of? Trying to think. I don't know. I'm not really well learned.
TM61.
They're already in NXT, man. They can't show up.
Oh.
I'm trying to think of other people in Ring of Honor after I was watching that thing. I don't know. I can't really think right now.
You want to talk about some NXT?
Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, Chris Hero, and Colt Cabana.
There you go.
Colt Cabana would be down.
Yeah.
He'll show up to that shit. Yeah, let's talk NXT. It was the go-home show for the house show that we're going to go to tonight.
Correct.
So, interesting stuff. But apparently in the Fresno show, thanks to Fresno, we're out Austin Aries. They didn't come to Sacramento before Fresno. Now we're probably out Austin Aries because he took a shiner to the face from Shinsuke Nakamura. Blood was everywhere. And they're saying that it might have been like maybe a concussion, but it just looks like eye problems.
Hopefully he doesn't have a fractured orbital bone.
Dude, I know. But he had a big-ass bump right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But apparently, like the crowd said, like somebody in the crowd said that he was in decent spirits. Like on his way out, he was a true pro and was healing the crowd. So
maybe it's just a black eye, a laceration of some sort.
Yeah.
And stitch him up.
Yeah.
He'll be ready to go in a couple weeks.
Up, yeah. Or in a couple hours.
Maybe.
We got to be at that show at 7:30.
7:30, correct.
Yeah. Do we have like assigned seats, or is it general admission on the floor?
Assigned seats.
Okay. And how far out are we?
We're second row in our section.
We're second row?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's great. Fantastic. Good job on that. NXT, we had Gargano and Ciampa, part of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic.
Correct.
Part of the Cody Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Versus Tian Bing and Ho Ho Lun. Yeah. Did I say that name? Tian Bing? Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah. Anyways, Gargano and Ciampa went over here, right?
Correct.
Yeah. This is kind of surprising because they made a big deal about these guys coming in. and then just to job them the first time they came in. I was kind of surprised about that. Bing is a big dude, though.
Yes.
Yeah, he's good. These are good looking guys here. So yeah, but Gargano and Ciampa, they're pulling me over. They need to be. Where are they going to go? Raw or SmackDown?
Well, they were supposed to be involved in the.
They're supposed to be involved in the cruiserweight
division.
Man,
so I think they're gonna.
That's a waste.
What's gonna happen?
God, that's a fucking.
No,
waste.
I know.
Put them in the tag team.
What's gonna happen? I'm guessing is they have a match. Their next
so
match
good.
is against the Revival.
Yeah.
They'll win.
Yeah.
They'll have another. They'll have a match for the tag titles at Takeover.
Yeah.
Which they'll lose, and then they'll show up on Raw shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
To take part in the cruiserweight division. That's my guess.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong though.
I don't know. TJ Perkins and Kota Ibushi, they gave like an interview where TJ Perkins was dropping all sorts of awkward gaming references. I can't stand that shit.
He did, apart from asking Kota his rating. That's the only one I noticed. The only gaming reference.
I think he said one other thing, but that was the one I know. Like off the top of my head, that's one I remember too.
Yeah.
Kota's response is pretty good though. He said 99.
I know.
Yeah. And he said Kota. It was kind of annoying. I wanted to slap TJ Perkins. Samoa Joe gave an interview.
He's great.
Oh, he's great. He's fantastic.
Fantastic.
Regal. Aaliyah versus Billie Kay. Aaliyah picked up the surprising victory on Billie Kay.
After Liv Morgan came out.
That's right.
To distract
Got
Billie
some
Kay.
interference, and then Billie Kay and what's her friend's
Peyton
name?
Royce.
Thank you, Peyton Royce. I always forget that. They started beating on Liv Morgan. Aaliyah came back in, but the heels got the upper hand. I love that sort of tag team shit they do, where she like takes her and slams her into the knee.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Ty Dillinger saw singles action against Noah Potjas. I love that name, Potjas. What a great name.
Yeah. Ty went over.
Ty went over. Then Ty was up at the ramp giving a very intense interview. He's so over right now.
Yeah.
And then Bobby Roode surprised him from behind, and in a mean way, not a good way.
Yeah. Hit him with the DDT and accepted the match that I thought Regal already signed for TakeOver.
Yeah. Bobby Roode, I already signed that match. You didn't have to.
Here, hold off on your Regal impression until we get to his appearance.
Aska. He calls her Aska.
I know. What do you think about this TM61 interview?
I like them. I like that interview.
Yeah,
I'm kind of on their side. What did they say exactly? I forget what it was, but one of them was being kind of silly. I don't know. I liked it. There was something about them. There was something about them that I wanted to point out, and I forgot what it was. But
do you still feel like they're IT guys?
Oh, more than ever.
Oh, okay.
They come off as so nerdy. They're so IT guys, but that's to me part of their charm now.
Okay,
that's
so
part of their
endearing
charm
now.
It's kind of endearing because I've always kind of liked them in the ring.
Okay.
It's just they look like IT guys.
Okay.
Now they sound and talk like IT guys from Australia.
Okay.
But that's kind of endearing. I kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah. They said, damn. Oh, this was my only thing about TM61. The Mighty Don't Kneel is probably my favorite tag team name of all time.
It's good.
That is a great name. And the fact that they made them go to TM61 bugs the shit out of me. Because the Mighty Don't Kneel is a fucking great name. We are the mighty and the mighty don't kneel. That sounds like a goddamn lyric.
Do you know why they had them change their name?
I have no idea. I don't know. Bugs the shit out of me, though, because the Mighty Don't Kneel is a great fucking name. Asuka, tonight you will take on Thea Trinidad. And after that match, I will tell you who your next opponent for TakeOver will be. Even though we found out weeks ago because it leaked out onto the internet through social media.
Didn't WWE tweet it out?
Why are you jumping the gun, WWE? Who's in control of your social media?
Why isn't it William Regal?
Why isn't it William Regal? I think because Regal, you're shit. You do contract signings, fucking vertical video on Facebook Live. Yeah, fucking weirdo. Listen, here is live from her garden, Mickey James. Mickey, the camera's over here. You're facing away from us.
It was a dramatic entrance.
There was zero dramatic about that. So, in the morning, me and Lacey wake up. We watch Good Day Sacramento, right? Well, a couple times a week, they bring on this lady who's like the gardening lady.
Oh,
right?
okay.
but they have her against a green screen. And behind her, or on the green screen, they project a garden because she talks about gardening tips.
Yeah.
And she seems like a really very charming lady, seems really cool and everything. But this reminded me so much of that. Like, why was Mickie James in her garden? Like,
maybe the light was better outside than it was inside her house.
She came off as such like a good-natured kind of hot mom. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm here in my garden, I don't know why I did that accent. But, yeah, Mickie James accepted. She's like, I beat the best. And Asuka's like freaking coming as she says.
Yeah, she was
giddy.
Asuka's
like,
yeah.
It's just fucking weird. And it was like the least intimidating challenge throwdown I've ever seen in my life.
You heard what the original plan was, right?
No, what was it?
That they were going to
it was Trish. But then Trish
Stratus.
got knocked up.
Yeah, she's pregnant.
She got a baby in heaven.
So, and that they were going to turn Asuka heel.
Isn't Asuka kind of... Asuka's like above heel.
Yeah, she is.
She's kind of heel. Like, she made Bayley cry, essentially. That's not a heel thing. I don't know what is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no turning Asuka anything. Asuka's a dominant... Asuka is like the Antoine Chigurh of fucking WWE. Not even just NXT. She's a force of nature. She's terrifying, and she's so awesome.
Yeah.
God, I love Asuka.
Paul Ellering...
Yes.
And the Authors of Pain did an interview.
That is correct.
And it was good.
Yeah, it was good. I have to admit, though, I just assume it was good because, like, I think, I don't know, one of the various children that run around here or my, little tiny one was bugging me at the time or Gypsy was barking. I don't know. This place is a goddamn madhouse. It's a fucking zoo, as you know. So I didn't hear Paul Ellering. I assume he was good because he's Paul Ellering. And then he was like, I'm right now on Expedia literally booking their trip because when I'm a manager, I'm a manager.
Yeah.
And then on top of that.
Now I'm handling their transport from Fresno to Sacramento.
That's right. I can do it all on this app right here. Oh, I lost it. Shit.
It crashed.
But that's why I've got a Samsung Galaxy. No. And it blows up. The authors of the Oscars of Pain. The authors of Pain. Apparently don't speak a lick of English. They started speaking something. What were they speaking? What are those guys? I don't know what they are either.
I don't know.
They were speaking some crazy shit. I love that, man. I'm a big fan of whatever your primary language is, just let it rip in that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just let them words fly, and I'll be freaked out. Shinsuke Nakamura would be terrifying if he just started dropping cake recipes on your ass in Japanese. That'd be terrifying. And I love when he speaks English because it's a weird sounding version of English, and he does what he can. And I think it's great because he's terrifying no matter what because he'll fucking lay people out like Austin Aries. He laid him out and then he gave him like a reverse fucking suplex.
Yeah.
Whatever that thing was.
Yeah.
And then the ref was like, fucking stop, dude.
Yeah.
God, not everything's a shoot, Shinsuke.
Strong style, man.
I know. Like, hey, strong style.
Our main event, Kota Ibushi and TJ Perkins against Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, and Lindsay Dorado.
Yeah.
That's correct.
It was a good match.
Yeah, no, this is a good match. I like this. It was good. The crowd seemed to be dead. Crowd was dead for this match.
Sometimes I wonder for these NXT tapings, 'cause they do.
You think this might have been like the last taping that they did out of like a 16-hour straight
Yeah,
taping?
so they were there for 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, yeah. They should end these tapings with Authors of Pain fights. Where they just because those are always fun.
Yeah,
I'll always root for them.
Where they powerbomb people into each other.
Talk about stiff, man. Those guys, it looks like it hurts.
Yeah,
I'm terrified of that. Is Gypsy in here?
No.
Did you fart?
Nope.
Does it smell like a fart?
No.
My window's open over there.
Could be.
That dog is beefing up a storm outside that window. Anyways, oh shit, Total Bellas. I did not watch it this week.
It was a bummer this week, man.
More Daniel Bryan being sad? Oh, that makes me sad.
It was a bummer.
That's
when they were marketing this show, they made it seem like it was fun.
It was going to be fun madcap.
It was going to be essentially a sitcom with John Cena and Daniel Bryan.
Instead, it's like this weird existential Daniel Bryan, the working man, fighting off the whims of his fucking elitist family and Robot Cena. It's bizarre. Like, he's just depressed the entire time. And it's like he has to play it out all on camera.
Well, at the end of this episode,
was there some light at the end of the tunnel?
No.
It got worse.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
He gets a call from his doctor.
Yeah.
Or one of his doctors saying that he needs to come back go back home to Phoenix because essentially the doctor told him, this is it. You're not wrestling ever again, based on additional tests. Because this is after he retired.
And this was this the WWE guy, or was this one of the guys who had cleared him?
I don't know. They didn't go into specific about who this doctor was. In the narrative of the show, this takes place after he gave his formal announcement on Raw. But, as we suspected, Bree said he still held out hope that one day he could wrestle again. And this doctor was saying, nope, never.
Man.
And so the end of the episode sees Bree, Nikki, their mom, JJ's wife.
JJ has a wife?
Yeah.
How did he?
Who's expecting?
Did his mom pick his wife for him?
I don't know.
JJ Bella's a mess.
And 2 other friends go to Naples, Florida.
Yeah.
For kind of a impromptu bachelorette party.
Yeah.
For the mom, because she's getting married to Johnny Ace soon.
Oh, nice.
And right before they leave,
you want to get married?
Daniel says, I'm going back home.
Oh, wow.
So he's going back home.
Yeah.
While Bree stays in Florida.
Oh, man.
So it's the whole episode was a bummer.
Was he like, I'm going back home. JJ, get my bags.
No.
When they got there, the bellhop come out, and they were like, no, we got JJ. It's good.
But JJ did drive all the women to Naples.
Can we call an Uber? We're rich. No, JJ's going to drive. Hey, JJ, where's the toilet paper? I've got
Johnny Ace does show up at the bachelorette party.
Will he deliver a couple of Ace Crushers?
No.
Damn
Not that I
it!
saw.
That's all I want from Total Bellas. Is Johnny Ace deliver an Ace Crusher?
I don't think we're going to see that, man.
I'm the pioneer of the Ace Crusher.
And anyways, they made it seem like next week's show is going to be a bummer, too.
Really? God, why do they call this Total Bellas? It's just Daniel Bryan and all these rich assholes surrounding him, and it just bugs the shit out of me because he fucking regrets that shit.
Yeah.
He probably regrets, and he's like, man, I'm under contract, so I have to do Total Bellas. Like, all he wants to do is go to Tokyo Dome and fight Kenny Omega, and he can't do that. Instead, he's got to be on the world. Like, this has to be an existential crisis for him because at a certain point, it's like, yeah, I can have fun doing this. But even on Talking Smack, we saw him, and he's immediately, what does he talk about? Donald Trump. Because we hear that they don't want them talking about Donald Trump. They don't want anybody talking about Trump because evidently it might be sort of an embarrassment because everybody shits on Trump these days. And Daniel Bryan immediately said, oh, they're making me move on because I'm talking about Trump. He has got to be so resentful of the WWE right now. I don't know, but then he has a good nature about things.
Yeah, and a lot of times he seems to be having a genuinely good time.
He seems like an easygoing guy, but man, this has to go against every fiber of his being.
Well, there's one thing, I think we've read this before on the dirt sheets, but he mentions it in Total Bellas, that when WWE hires wrestlers, they give them a personality test.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of the ambition part of that test, he scored the lowest they ever recorded.
I saw that part.
Like one in the lowest 1%, I guess he said.
And because what he wants in life is like basically the exact opposite of everybody he's surrounding himself with. That's the thing. Oh man.
Like he just wants a modest home.
Yeah.
For himself and his family.
Yeah.
He wants to have his organic garden.
Yeah. He wants like actual happiness, not material possessions.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And that's admirable.
I know. I agree totally. Like that's why I love my freaking job because, it allows me the flexibility. Working is chatting up with you about wrestling.
Yes.
It's like, granted, we put a lot of effort into this. It never feels like work, The post office, like listen to my dad talk, sounds like work. Or my wife talk, that sounds like work. You know what I mean? Like this is, and I think the same thing about wrestling, about Daniel Bryan and wrestling must be the same thing. It's like, man, I just want to do that. I just want to do what I'm passionate about and enjoy my life.
Yeah.
What a crap situation to be in.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Yeah.
You want to answer some questions?
Yes.
We have a few.
Yes.
First, Patrick Sparks. We've had a lot of bad Vince Russo booking.
Hulk Hogan.
One of the worst being Judy Bagwell on a forklift match. That being said, what are 3 items you want suspended on a pole, platform, or forklift for a match?
Vince Russo on a pole match.
Mm-hmm.
Forklift. Like a bunch of crates of mac and cheese on a forklift.
I was going to say donuts.
Yeah.
I had the same idea.
Okay. And then
crate of donuts on a forklift match.
And then
would the donuts be weapons, or would that be your reward for winning the match? For both.
It'd be like just afterwards, whoever wins.
So the reward, okay.
It's a reward. But then the other guy who wins is like, hey, there's a lot of mac and cheese. Come on over here, Shane Douglas. Platform. What'd you put on a platform? Like an old Little League trophy. Like when you get down, like the
one you can buy at like a thrift store.
Yeah, like at a thrift store, and it's just like, man, the remnants of somebody's childhood. What a that makes me introspective about my own life.
Okay.
Put that on a platform, and then people just look at it and be like, what happened to this person?
Okay.
All the joy and wonder of his childhood, and he freaking sends it to Goodwill.
Yeah. Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, continue.
Matthew Barisic.
Yeah.
Should Curtis Axel join the club to bring him up to the upper mid card? I guess it would have to be on Raw right now, at least.
I don't want him to join the club. I want him to stay on Raw, and I want him to succeed on Raw.
But I could see him as a member of the club. I could see that.
I need more time for me to see that. I need to see him be taken seriously first.
No, I understand that.
You know what I mean? Like,
but I mean, like,
if that's a long game career goal for him, I think that's great.
Say in 6 months, club expansion, he's a member. Yeah, okay, cool. If he can continue,
it would need to be really convincing 6 months.
Yeah, if he's continually on TV every week.
Yeah,
doing stuff.
Yeah,
of consequence.
I want to treat the club like, you know, it's the same shit that I say about the Bullet Club. When I see Adam Cole, and I'm still wrapping my head around Adam Cole, but you know, one of my problems with him, I talked about Christian's body earlier. He looks like, and I don't want to be the kind of guy who's like, oh, he has to have a certain body type, because Sami Zayn has a normal body type.
Yeah.
And I love the way he works. He's
still convincing a capable and wrestler that is a threat. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I just don't get Adam Cole's thing. You know what I mean? And I hope that a month from now I'll be like, oh no, I'm all aboard the Adam Cole thing. I'm excited because they're talking about him bringing him to NXT. But there's something very when you're talking about Gallows and Anderson. Gallows been around for a while. They're old bastards.
Yeah.
And AJ Styles, an old bastard who's been around a while. And then you've got these like crazy looking dudes like Bad Luck Fale and Tama Tonga. And then you've got like the Tokyo Pimp guy. And then you've got sort of on the periphery, you've got Kenny Omega, who's like your wild card guy, the cleaner. And then you've got the Young Bucks off to the side, the young dudes who are like, you know, talking shit. And the Bullet Club seemed like this amazing, big, giant, cool thing. And then you take half the cool guys out of the equation and you're left with like, when Adam Cole is standing there in a little rinky-dink Ring of Honor ring and the Young Bucks are flanking him, and he's like, if Jay Lethal, if you mess with me, you mess with the Bullet Club. And I'm like, oh, you're not really that intimidating in the first place. Like, you're just the watered-down version. Like, you go over to Japan and Captain freaking New Japan is part of the Bullet Club. You know? It's so underwhelming. What were we talking about? Oh, and I don't want that to happen to the club in the WWE because those guys are like OG. They're like the old bastards of the club, and they made it cool.
And that's why I kind of feel like Curtis Axel could fit because he's been around for 10 years or so.
Yeah,
he's an experienced wrestler. He would fit in, I think.
I think he could. It's just. Like the Revival right now are so much more believable, I can see it. That's a perfect fit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Axel needs, for me, I would love to see him that be an eventual career goal for him because I think it's a good one. It's a good goal to have.
Yeah.
I would need to see.
He's just not. He's not
more.
He's not taken seriously as a threat.
He hasn't been. That's the problem. He hasn't been taken seriously in such a long. It's like first he was not taken seriously because he just wasn't connecting with the fans, and that's back when anybody could hold the IC title.
Yeah,
and Paul Heyman wasn't helping his case. And then when he did get over, it's because he had kind of had a comedy shtick. I don't know. I just need so much more.
No, I agree with that.
But I think that's a hopeful. That's a good goal. That could be a good goal for him.
Derek Hanley.
Yes.
Do you think Alexa Bliss can become such a powerful heel where she can make her own faction? Nexus meets NWO type of thing. That'd be interesting. If Alexa Bliss had her own faction, led her own faction.
I mean, I'd like to see enough women in the division to warrant that.
Yeah.
But I think the sky's. I'll put it this way. I think the sky's the limit for Alexa.
Yes. Yes.
I love her. She's great.
Johnny Zuko.
What a great name. Johnny Zuko.
So Mickie James is on NXT. How do you feel about her being on NXT instead of the main roster? Do we know if this is
This has to be a one and done thing.
That's
I
my
would think.
guess too.
It's got to be a one and done thing. Asuka.
Chris Miller. What do you think about the news that Charlotte is now called Charlotte Flair? Chris Miller is personally not a fan, but how do you guys feel?
How do you feel about that? Because I don't know, and if I hear your opinion, it might sway me one way or the other.
I think right now I'm more curious as to why.
Yeah.
And I think once that I have an answer to that question, then I'll be able to form a more informed opinion.
The bottom line is the fact they're doing it means they're probably going to do it long term.
Yeah.
In which case, we'll just get used to it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with it.
Charlotte Flair.
Yeah,
I think if I had a problem with it, it would be that because they weren't doing it from the beginning, it doesn't necessarily roll off the tongue like it could have if they had put that in the plans. Like,
yeah.
You're a Flair, we're going to give you the last name Flair. So or at least that's a possibility in the future. Let's prepare for that by giving you a name that rolls off the tongue a bit more. What's her real name again? What's her actual first name?
Ashley?
Ashley, I think it is.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, that's not a very intimidating name either. But neither is Charlotte, but that's where she's from. Vincent, the smartest fan in the room, Palmieri. I love Vincent's video questions.
Yeah.
He's always so mellow.
Musical acts. Who do you want to see at WrestleMania this year, and what acts do you think will be at the event? Usually there's either somebody will have their entrance music played live, or they'll have a musical performance about halfway through the show. Steve, who do you want to see perform at WrestleMania this year?
Who do I want to see perform at WrestleMania? I mean, look, if I get my wish and Undertaker comes out as just a badass, Limp Bizkit.
We've already
baby.
seen it, though.
Limp Bizkit.
It's already happened.
Kid Rock. Same thing. Who do you want to see?
Bon Iver.
That'd be terrible.
Run the Jewels.
There you go. Robert Sarah Fastlanian.
Don't you think that Rollins Owens might go last because of the Triple H run-in? I thought about this.
Okay.
If this were the first time Triple H were to interfere in this feud,
yeah,
I'd understand it. It'd make more sense.
Right.
But now, since we all anticipate Triple H getting involved in this match, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
You think so? So it won't be the shock, the surprise it would have been if we hadn't seen him yet.
Do you think Triple H is going to run in? Because of that Jericho thing? You don't see Jericho being the only thing that might interfere in this match?
Jericho could be the only interference, but it's been so long since Triple H helped Owens win the belt, and he hasn't shown back up. And we haven't heard anything from him as to why. I don't know. It just feels like at some point they have to start pushing that storyline.
I'm gonna say Triple H doesn't show up. I'm gonna say because Jericho has to do something.
Yeah.
And adding Triple H to the mix simply overbooks it.
Oh yeah.
So
no, I agree, but overbooking hasn't stopped them from doing things in the past. Roll-up wrestling. When The Undertaker does get inducted into the Hall of Fame, do you think he should break kayfabe in his speech? I feel like he should do part of the speech in character and part of the speech out of character.
What's his speech going to be like?
I love it in the documentaries he's in because he always kind of toes the line between...
And he toes it really well.
I know. Being in character but out. So that's probably what he would do.
I think that's going to be the line of thought. Yeah, I think so.
Do you will he be in his wrestling gear?
No.
Tuxedo?
Oh, he's going to look amazing. Yeah, he's going to really fresh looking. What if he comes out like the outfit he was in when he debuted with like the purple gloves? That'd be great.
That'd be great.
Oh man, that's it, huh?
Yep, that's our show.
Oh, that's our show. All right. End of the week. We're going to NXT tonight. Shake hands. What's up there? See, that's more than I ever thought I was going to get from you. I'd rather shake Phil Brooks' hands anyways. All right. We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.
Bye.